The Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association presents Ohio County Fair Racing. Ohio County Fair Racing is presented by the Ohio Veterinary Medical Center, Big D Tack and Vet Supply, Dublin Valley Farms, Stable.ca, and Midland Acres. Now let's go trackside for all the action.
Good morning, racing fans, and welcome to the Tuscarawas County Fair here in Dover, Ohio. It's Colt Day today. We've got 11 races, and looks like the fillies went yesterday, so the Colts are going today. Joined today by Trish Soulsby and Steve Ulrich. I'm Susan Schroeder.
It's the last day of summer, Susan, and what a beautiful day we have here at Dover, Ohio. Yesterday was spectacular for our 13 race card, but I can promise you that today is going to be just as great, if not even better. We have a lot of interesting races today, including those opens, that Dean Beachy Memorial Trot and the, I believe that's Bud Lammers. Is that how they say that, or Lammers?
I think so, Lammers, yeah.
Lammers, and that's the Memorial Pace. You know what was interesting is that it was an open, but open to the top 7 purse earners this year.
Oh, okay. That may be, is it a, I didn't...
They were the 6th and 9th races.
Okay. Yeah, there's going to be some great open horses. We love to see the older horses come back to the fairs and get a chance to race. And a lot of these horses, I noticed as I was going through, raced at Delaware this last.
Oh yes,
during this
in fact,
last week,
when we got our proof, I don't have the lines that are to be announced on Down by the Parade and Draco Storm. Do you have their finishes?
I think I do have that down. Oh, well, that's in the first race that
yes.
Trish is talking about. The 2-horse Down by the Parade raced at Delaware in the Buckeye Stallion Series. He started from the 7 hole. He ended up 2nd. He was back by 7 3/4. Was individually timed in 55 and 1. Race went in 53 and 3. And Draco Storm also raced in the Buckeye Stallion Series. Started from the 3 hole, ended up 6th. Was individually timed in 156 and 1.
Okay. Were they in the same division by any chance? Don't know.
Let me see.
Hard to say.
Yeah, they were, because when we look at the first 3 horses, Down by the Parade was 2nd in Draco's Storm's race.
Okay, very good.
And I believe the, well, you do have the GRU, do you have that last line?
I have Delaware where he was 6th.
Okay.
Is that right?
All right, so you should, everybody should have the correct programs too. If you go to harnessracing.com, you should be able to get the most recent program from there. I think Kim updated them again when we get them a couple of days early, but then when horses race just 1 or 2 days before this program,
right.
We don't always have those updated
proofs.
lines. Yeah, so
it's a short field here. We're looking at 2-year-old Colt and Gelding Pace, who's in this first division of the Buckeye Classic Pace, and they're going for a purse of $4,200, total purse $12,600, and I believe they're all out on the track.
I think we're maybe having a little bit of trouble with the audio from the announcer. I see Michael Carter is our announcer today, so we just have to keep an eye on that. Let us know. Get on my phone now so I can see what your comments are.
So if we don't hear the announcer, I'll give you the changes that we had, and that is in the first race, the 2 Down by the Parade will be driven by Nick Clegg. The 3 Draco Storm, Tyler Angus, and the 5 Drew Neal. I noticed yesterday, Susan, this particular fair board has not kept track of the individual records, but we do have the all-age pace record, which was set by Bourbon Street Hanover of 154 and 4, and I have a little information about that horse later. But you know, yesterday with the 2 all-age pace and trot records, we had nothing come close to what was established back in 2016, so it must have been a super fast track that year.
Clear. You're clear. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, clear, dude. yet.
Horses on the racetrack for the first race. Hometown Colt Stakes, Field Colt and Kelly Pacer. This is the Buckeye Classic Dates. $4,200. Here's the Field 1 Shuffle, Cool Legacy. With the late fifth, John G. Wanger, trains and drives. 2 down by the parade. Trained by Betty Clegg. Clegg is up. 3 Draco Storm. So by Sue Stockwell. Here in market conditions, Tyler Engels is up. 4 Unique Catch, shown by Max Jr. Eden Reader, Mark Stagg, Miller, and Harvey trains and drives. The 5 is Brew, with Stephanie Reeves, and Jane Butler also trained Rugged Undersoul. It's in the Salty, Blue Plates, Exact Grill, Trifecta Daily Double Weight Race. I'll bring it back to you with gift card giveaways. Take your racing ticket to the table.
Okay, let's take a closer look at the horses in this race. The 1 is Shuffle's Cool Legacy. John G. Wengert is up. He also trains for Lily Flynn, who's also the breeder of this horse. It's a Mr. Cooley out of a Spectacular Deal mare, Shuffle and Deal 'em. 8 starts on the year, has not hit the board yet, has made $1,600, has been pacing in about 2.6 the last couple of fairs.
Betty Clegg trains and owns Down by the Parade, your 2 horse. Nick Clegg, her husband in the bike, no surprise there. This horse was definitely one of those bargain buys at the Ohio Select Sale just a year ago at this time. $8,000 purchase that has earned $99,721 this year. When you look at his last 6 lines, you see nothing worse than second. His most recent win came at Ashland on September 16th, where he wired the field, winning by 4 1/4 lengths in 2:01 and 4. Last time out, he cut the mile at Delaware this week, and that was actually 2 back. He raced at Delaware twice. He raced at Delaware on the September 17th in the Fair Stake and was second by a head in 54 and 4. He was a second again on the 19th of September in the Buckeye Stallion Stakes, where he finished second, his individual time in 1:55 and 1, and he has all over for the year 26 starts, 16 wins, 7 seconds, and 1/3.
Draco Storm, the 3 horse with Tyler Angus up, Gary Martin, the trainer, and Sue Stockwell, the owner. This is a Fear the Dragon out of a Captain Treacherous mare. 11 starts on the year, 3 wins, 2 seconds, and 1/3. Last win was at Worcester in 2:01 and 1.
You've got to say Unique Catch for Darren Harvey is having a great year. 7 times on the board out of 8 starts and has a winning string that's at least 5 long. A qualifying mark of 1:54 and 4 at Scioto Downs. And like I said, 8 starts, 6 wins, 1 second. And all lines are showing wins by different margins. The fastest one that we can see on the card was at Croton, 1:59 and 3.
And Grew, Janie Weller trains. Stephen Reese and Janie Weller are the owners. It's a bit of a legend, and 10 starts on the year, 1 win. That was at its home track in 2-2 and 1 at Tiffin. Let's join the Michael Carter for the call.
Could you check to see if we're live?
What?
Facebook crash. Could you check to see if we're live? It still should be up, but I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
We're good?
They're off, and PJ got the center down the parade. Draco Storm gets the first call. On the outside, Unique Catch came away in 3rd.
Yeah, I looked, and Facebook was like on the home page.
Legacy at the back of affairs. We've got a tussle up top. Down by the parade to the inside. Draco Storm on the outside. These 2 will duel into the back stretch. With Down by the parade. Coming away with the lead. Up by a length and a quarter for Nick Clegg. Draco Storm is in the pocket, racing in second. Unique Catch at the inside, 3rd on 3 off the lead. Crew is 4th with Shuffle's Cool Legacy as they race over to that opening quarter stanza. And they're at the opening quarter in 31 seconds flat. Into the far turn, they go for the first time. Down by the parade, Nick Clegg up by a length and a quarter here over Draco Storm. Is in the pocket, racing second. Unique Catch is 3rd, still about 3.5 lengths to make up as they come by us for the first time. Through the inside in sport, then comes Shuffle's Cool Legacy. By the half they come, down by the parade. Last second Buckeye Stallion Series in Delaware, Ohio, up by a length and a quarter. Top time 1:04. 2 2/5 of a second into the clubhouse turn they go. Down by the parade, he's up 2 lane leaders. Ringo Store, Ahmed in second, but it's gapping for the third is Unique 10. As they move up the back stretch, and Clay is trying to kiss this field goodbye. He's not down by the parade, pretty clear. Ringo Store. Then at the inside is Unique Catch in third. 5 clear through, they're past 3/4 in. 1:30 and 2/5 into the far turn they go. Down by the parade. Has a 3-length lead. But here are the fresh legs of Unique Catch coming on the outside for Darren Harvey. It's down by the parade with the lead. Here comes Unique Catch up on the outside. Unique Catch up to engage down by the parade. Unique Catch and Darren Harvey to win by 2. Down by the parade second. Ringo Storm was third, then came through.
Well, the 2 horses that were the winningest horses in the field this season finished 1-2 with Unique Catch going by down by the parade before the wire.
I didn't catch the final time.
I did not either.
As you heard, that is unofficially Unique Catch, your winner. Down by the parade second, and Draco's Storm third. I think we had another driver change, RU or Grew. I'm not sure what everybody says about that one, but I think it was Logan Ebersol in the bike on
Okay.
the 4. So we're going to get the correct fractions because I'm not quite sure if they truly went to the half and 4 and
No,
then
I
the
think
quarter.
it was a minute and 4/5
Yeah,
makes
I
sense.
think so too.
But anyway, kind of interesting.
Yeah. We are hearing, I don't know if you guys are hearing it a little bit fuzzy, but it is a little bit fuzzy for us too, so we're trying the best we can to hear everything. And here comes Unique Catch and Darren Harvey back to the winner's circle.
And for 2. First race sponsored by Tuscarawas County Agricultural Society. Bill quarter times, 31 seconds, 1:02 for the half. 3/4, 1:30 and 2. Final time, 1:59. 2/5 potentially the back stretch. Bring them out for race number 2.
So, Unique Catch with a patient drive by Darren Harvey. He actually got away third, and there was a little bit of a bid early between who was going to have the lead between Down by the Parade and Draco Storm. But this one's in the books. Unique Catch, 1:59 and 2.
Draco Storm, 3. Unique Catch, the winner. Grew 4. Top down. 5, 2, 3, 1, 4.
So it doesn't sound like he's going to give us the, I believe that the fractions were 31, 102, 130 and 2, and 159 and 2. So
That was a blistering.
yeah, it'd be last
Going
half
to
of
the third
57
quarter,
and 2,
yeah.
right? Right.
And the from the half to the 3/4, that had to be 28 and 2.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was
All right.
some really good moves. As happy everybody's watching. If you let us know if the sound is okay, if you're hearing the announcer okay, so we can correct that if we can. Or we may not be able to correct it, but if we can, we will. So second race coming up is the 3-year-old colt. Oh, payoffs.
Jurassic Pretzel, $9.20.
We had rather short prices
Yeah.
all day yesterday, but as Susan said, this one's in the books. We're moving on to the second race where we're going to see trotters. And we'll be with you right after this message from our sponsors.
When you need supplies for your horse, one name stands out: Big D's. Since 1976, Big D's Tack and Vet Supply has been the equine experts you can trust. Whatever your horse needs is available at Big D's Tack and Vet Supply. Visit the retail outlet in Streetsboro, Ohio, or order online at bigdweb.com for fast shipping. Most orders ship that day. Or call 1-800-321-2142. Big D's Tack and Vet Supply.
History, tradition. For over 100 years, 2- and 3-year-old trotters and pacers have started their careers on the tracks of the Home Talent Colt Stakes. See the future stars of Ohio harness racing at one of the Home Talent's 15 tracks.
Own a little and love it a lot. TheStable.ca is an award-winning fractional ownership operation. Buy as little as 1% of a racehorse and experience 100% of the thrill. TheStable.ca makes ownership easy, accessible, and affordable. Communication and customer service are at the heart of everything we do. Get started at TheStable.ca.
Welcome back to the Tuscarawas County Fair. I have never been here before. It's kind of an interesting way in. As you can see, they do park in the infield, but there's a tunnel that goes under, and also a tunnel once you park, then a tunnel on this side, so you go under and come up on the other side of the track. So kind of nice that they don't have those humps and bumps on the track created by the traffic going across all the time. So that's a very nice thing.
It's also good that this one's rather late in the year for all those 2-year-olds that are coming to a fair because of all the things that they could have to look at and worry about. I noticed that yesterday they were all pretty good. You've got a lot of equipment and things that sometimes horses are very sensitive to what they see for the first time.
Yeah, it's a very busy fair. I don't think that it's in acreage. I don't think that it's very big. Because I ended up going clear around, and it didn't take me very long to go clear around, so I don't think it's a large fair. But they've got a lot of stuff packed in here, packed in close. So the courses are being called out.
It's 3 divisions we have of this today. The 3-year-old colt and gelding trot called the Charm Harness Trot. We'll have action for them on this race, and also the 4th and 10th. Field of 5 here. I'll jump right in and see if we can get some of these going. The one is Race Day, driven by Drew Neal, trained by Rosie Weaver. Another one that's looking to make it a win streak 3 strong, has won his last 2 at Ashland and back at McConnellsville. Over the season, 18 starts, 6 wins, 8 seconds, 0 thirds, $32,338 in earnings, and the best mark was taken at Carrollton in 2:01 and 2. The last 5 lines show 3 of 5 wins and 2 seconds. Really on his game. He's a creatine out of I Love You Like a Love Song by Credit Winner. That's Race Day.
Okay, Mindful Amos from the 2-hole with Keith Cash Jr. up. We're giving you these driver changes, but until they go by, we're not 100% sure because we couldn't quite hear them when they were coming. So we think that Keith Cash Jr. is driving Mindful Amos, trained, owned by Betty Clegg. This is an Enterprise colt out of a Donato Hanover mare. Change your mind. Finished 3rd the last 3 starts in a row. Trotted in 2-7 at Asheville, 2-5 and 2 at Worcester, and 2-4 and 1 at Upper Sandusky. Does have a record this year of 2-2 and 1 at Northfield Park. Has made $17,975 this year.
The 3 is Hill Tabber, driven and trained by Jay Weller, owned by Jay and Louise Weller. And this one has only one start as a 2-year-old, picked up a little money, $227, has raced much more this season as a sophomore, but has little to show for it as of yet. 16 starts, no wins, no seconds, 2/3, $4,173. When you look at the lines, you understand why. Hill Tabor is having trouble staying flat, and I see one clean line, and that was back at Mount Gilead, where he finished third, beaten by 13 lengths, and trotted in 2:06. Actually, was at Delaware, and despite all that running, had an individual time of 2 minutes and 4, but we see a lot of the time was spent on a break.
Clear.
Trotters on the racetrack for the second race. Hometown Colt Stakes. Real Colt Yelling Trotters. It is the Charm Harness Trot First Division. $1,160 is the first year to field. One race day. Rosie Weaver Group Deal. Two line Colemas. On the trail of Eddie Clegg. Steve Cash Jr. will drive. Three Hill Tabor. On the game Louise Weller. Our winner drives for trainer Jay Weller. So you don't fool me. So by Rosie Weaver also tonight. And the Heartland Inter, Rosie Weaver drives. Derek Rogers drives 5, Brandon Justice, the Mark Lowe, George Jerry Welch, and Michael Lowe. That is the deal for race number 2 of our gift card giveaways. Take a roofing ticket to the table by the mutual in front of the grandstand. Put your name is down the back for a chance to win $25 or $50 gift card.
Okay, so we go back to the 4-horse. You Don't Fool Me. Rosie Weaver, the trainer and owner, Rosie's going to drive this horse. Also owns and trains. Cartland Acre is also a co-owner. This is a long Tom out of a Donato Hanover mare, Ariella. 22 starts this year, 1 win. That was early in the year at Miami Valley in 157. Second, 2 starts back at Upper Sandusky, and also second at Van Wert, which trotted in 2:01. Did race at Delaware, was a ways back, 9 lengths off the winner, but did trot his mile in 58 and 4.
Derek Wadaker will handle the 5 Jurassic Justice today, trained by Michael Lowe and owned by Jerry Welch and Mike Lowe of McConnellsville, Ohio. This is a Volstead colt out of Vamp Hall by Leica Pereira. 14 starts this year, winning half of them, followed by 3 seconds, 2/3, and $30,397 in earnings. Best mark taken at the Parimutuel track, 156 and 3. Comes off this one in a second place finish in the Ohio Fair Stakes, where he had the rail, got away second, came a final quarter in 28 seconds flat, not enough to catch the win, but was individually timed in 158 and 2, beaten only by half a length. At Old Washington, a wire-to-wire winner on September 11th in 2:04 and 2, made a break shortly after the start at McConnellsville, still recovered enough to finish second. Then we go win, fourth, and win. So doing very well this year is Jurassic Justice.
We had someone ask if we knew the attendance for the jug, and I did not hear that on Thursday, but I do know that they were parking people where they haven't parked people for many years. So I think the attendance was way up from what it's been. Probably they were thinking it was the biggest attendance since before COVID.
Yes.
So that was really a good sign. They have a pulling area way behind, actually like in front of the grandstand, but way back of the barns. And they have never parked there in years and years, and they had to park people over there. So it was a great crowd. The pavilions were sold out. They couldn't get anybody else in those. And when I walked a couple times, I went downstairs under the grandstand and walked in there, and that was absolutely packed.
I was one of those way down yonder on Thursday. I got there late, and I guess it was around getting close to 1 o'clock, and I had such a walk up gravel and hills and everything, and the way it was, I thought, well, it's just down from gate on 23, but I even got turned around and had to have help to find my car.
Find your car. Okay, so second race is behind the gate. From the rail out, we've got Race Day, Mindful Amos, Hill Tabor, You Don't Fool Me, and Jurassic Justice. Let's turn it over to Michael Carter for the call.
Horses moving to the top of the stretch. Picking up speed. Here they come. Stride as in the three. No Tapper into the first turn they go. It is race day. A 1 length leader with mindfulness. Pocket Shadow in second, Forecast at the inside is Jurassic Justice in third. And comes You Don't Fool Me and Hill Tapper with the trailer. Up the backstretch they go. It is race day. A 2 length leader over mindfulness in the second. Up the inside, Jurassic Justice is third. That one's going to the quarter clear. You Don't Fool Me. They're at the quarter in 30 and 1 second. And little partner, they go for the first time. It was a race day. Up here by a length and a half. In the pocket, mindfulness is the second. Jurassic Justice is third. That was about 3.5, 4 lengths off the lead. You Don't Fool Me is fourth. Then there's a gap of 5 to the thriller for Tapper. Now here they have race day. Up top here by a length and 3/4 over mindfulness. Halftime was 1-1 and 3 seconds. They go to the clubhouse, turn they go final time. Race day has the lead. Here comes Jurassic Justice. First up in, driving for Derek Water on the outside. Mindfulness got to try to find a way out the pylons from in third. Up the backstretch, Little Foodie is fourth with Bill Towers at the inside. Up the backstretch, race day has the lead. Jurassic Justice applying pressure on the outside. For Water, then comes Mindfulness. 3/4. In 1:32.5 into the car turn they go. Jurassic Justice has come on to take the lead. Race day at the inside is second. Mindfulness not today. Outside of that one comes You Don't Fool Me. Top of the stretch. Jurassic Justice is the first one to turn for home. And it's Jurassic Justice. The win by 3 lengths at the end. Up on the right side, You Don't Fool Me. Artificially second. Race at the inside third. And Mindfulness and Hope Tather. Final time, 2:02.
So Jurassic Justice and Derek Wadaker get the win in 2:02, adding another win to his already impressive starts. This makes 15 starts, 8 wins, 3 seconds, 2/3.
Last half in 58 and 2, Susan. If those are correct, if those are correct fractions, that's pretty remarkable.
Yeah. And he's going to come a little bit more than that because I don't think he was...
He was first up. Yeah, he got away third. Mm-hmm.
You Don't Fool Me made that early break and came back to finish second. You Don't Fool Me raced very good after that, after he recovered from that break.
Our early leader tired a bit, that is for sure, but he had a lot of pressure on him when Jurassic Justice made that move going down to the backside, coming first up. Another really nice race here today at Dover, Ohio. We have a nice breeze as well on this last day of summer.
3/4, 1:32, final time, 2:02 flat.
We'll get our official rundown here from Michael Carter as Jurassic Justice makes his way to the winner's circle.
Heavy concessions, winner's circle. Here is the 5, Jurassic Justice. Trainer Welch and Trainer Michael Lowe, Trainer Walker, the winning drive. A 3-0 big belly by Holstead. The white trainer there, Van Paul. Red in Ohio by Trainer Welch. The 9th career victory, the 2024. Down the line, 202 flat. Blanket Trophy presented by Connolly, Trigger, and ONG. Quarterback, 30-1. Halftime, 101 and 3. 3/4, 1:32. Final time, 2:02. Top down, race number 2, one race day. 3, 2 miles of Vegas. 4, 3 at Hill Tavern. 5, We'll keep on moving to by Jurassic Justice for winner 3, 4, 5, 2, 1 on the bottom. Next to the back, we'll bring it out.
We got a comment from David Myrick said the judge, Mike Lowe, must be in court. He doesn't miss driving his horses very often, and that is correct. In all the last starts we can see Michael Lowe was driving his own. So
I'm sure he'll catch up and hear about that victory soon. We're going to move on to the third race. This one's the Duncan Pace. We'll talk about Duncan in a little bit as he raced last night. He was in the Harrah's Hoosiers Pacing Derby, and Duncan, the Ohio bred that owned by Betty Jo Clegg and raced here in Ohio and was last year's winningest 3-year-old here. With, I believe last year he had 40 starts, 21 wins, 6 seconds, and 1/3, earning $202,000. He was just a $7,000 purchase, so pretty darn good. But it's named the Duncan Pace. It's 3-year-old Colton Gelding Pacers, and we'll be back to tell you more about that after this brief message.
Volstead, Coach K Hanover, Slay, Ohio's top trotters stand at Dublin Valley Farms. Volstead's offspring include Sugar Instead, the 2023 Ohio 2-year-old Trotting Filly of the Year, and 2024 Ohio Sire Stakes winner Jurassic Hattie. Coach K Hanover, the son of world record holder Walner, and Slay, the son of Chapter 7, standing his first season at Dublin Valley Farms. At Ohio State's Galbraith Equine Center, our veterinary champions are here for your champions 24/7, 365 days a year. Our expert team of boarded surgeons, sports medicine and rehabilitation specialists, together with veterinary cardiologists, internal medicine, and ophthalmologists, make our hospital your best resource for all sport horse performance issues. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center's Galbraith Equine Hospital. Call us today at 614-292-6661.
For over 100 years, the values at CoverLink Insurance have been clear. Do the right thing. These values have been at the forefront of what we do, and that will never change. At CoverLink Insurance, you're a person, not a policy. We're here to get you the right coverage: home, auto, business, and farm. CoverLink covers you, your family, and your business. Trusted advice and solutions to protect what matters most. Great service from great people. CoverLink Insurance.
welcome back to Tuscarawas County Fair here at Dover. I picked up one of their programs, and it's really a very nice program. It's got a color cover and a lot of colored pictures inside. They got a picture of Duncan in here, who is the sponsor, the Duncan Pace coming up. But they've got pictures of their current track holders and even some of their old track holders. They've got pictures of a few of the guys that have memorial races coming up. So it's just a very nice, well put together program. So
something really nice about it for the horse players, it has a $2 betting voucher inside.
Yes, yes. So I say kudos to whoever put this together. It's a really nice job.
And speaking of Duncan, last night when he was in that race, he did finish fourth and picked up another $13,200 to his credit. And his lifetime earnings now stand at $673,200 as a 4-year-old that came out of that Harrisburg, was it the Harrisburg, I think, sale? Yes, the Harrisburg sale for $7,000. Wow, what a buy.
Yeah, you have to kind of follow the Cleggs around at the sales because they always come up with something that is reasonably priced and races really well. They're down by the parade. That he's now at almost $105,000 with that money he earned in the Buckeye Stallion Series, and they just paid $8,000 for him. He is the winningest 2-year-old in North America, and I believe that he's fourth. Last time I looked, it was just a few days back, he was fourth on the all-age list of winningest horses in North America, so that's quite an accomplishment.
So the 3-year-old Colton Gelding Pacers are about to go forward or together for that post parade. We'll start looking. We have a scratch from the rail. That was Walter Robert. He is out. We'll move on to the 2 Pest Control. Trainer Richard Stacy is also the owner of this School Kids Gelding out of Furious 5 by Faldo Hanover. His name is Pest Control, driven by Logan Ebersol today. 16 starts, 1 win on the season, 2 seconds, 2 thirds, $11,623 bankrolled, and a good mark taken at Northfield earlier this season of 156-4. He's been at the fairs mainly in the last 5 starts at the fairs and picking up checks all along. The last 2, a pair of thirds, go back to Northfield. He's been still racing there some at Northfield in non-winners of 1 pair mutual conditions as the and in that one back on July, that was a long time ago, but comes into this one off a pair of thirds, and his best time showing here at the fairs is 1:59.3.
Looks like Drew Neal is up on the 2, Pest Control.
Okay, good, thank you. He can't drive 2 horses, can he, Susan? There you go.
Horses on the racetrack for the third race. Hometown at Colt State, 3-year-old Colt and Celtic Pacers, first to the win. $4,087. Here's the field, one is out to Pest Control by Richard Stacey, also training Drew Neal. 3 top flyers, 3 by Holt Racing Stable, Kennedy Sports, Logan Ebersol drives for trainer, player of Holtz. Number 4 is Ferguson, Tom Ryan, Bill Schreiber. Training drives for the Melrose Stable. 5 over his drive, over credibility Clegg and Clegg. Tropic Shores instead, so McCaffrey Miller, Vincent Miller trains, Alex Hawk drives. Tyler English drives 7, Mr. Legend. Stephen Johnson, Miller, Joseph Hirschberger. Flynn Fletcher, back to Manila Drive, back to Wakery. Number 6 and 7 will start on the second tier. First time, just a couple minutes away.
So the 3 is Tree Top Flyer. Logan Ebersol drives for Claire Umholtz. Umholtz Racing and Kennedy Sports are the owners and also the breeders of this Racing Hill Colt. It's out of a Western Terrier mare, Champagne Tonight. 22 starts this year, 5 wins. The most recent win was at Wilmington in 2 minutes and a fifth, but the fastest win at Northfield in 56-1. Also had a nice mark as a 2-year-old at Canfield, 59-4.
The 4 is Ferguson, and he's another homebred, bred by Melrose and owned by the Melrose stable, trained by John Ryan Melsheimer. He'll be in the bike today behind Ferguson. 9 starts on the year, picking up 3 wins, 1 second, and earning $11,528. Has a pretty snappy mark taken at Scioto Downs of 153-4. That line is off his last 6. He did start at Delaware in the Buckeye Stallion Stakes and finished 6th. Ended up pacing in 154-2, final quarter in 28-1, beaten 9 lengths. Go back to Old Washington on the 11th, he finished 2nd, beaten 3 lengths. Go back further to McConnellsville, he had a pair of starts there. On the 6th he won, and the 2nd he won at McConnellsville. On the 2nd of September it was a handy romp, wire-to-wire style, 8 lengths, and then the other one was also in wire-to-wire style, but only 3/4 of a length. That is Ferguson.
In his time, Nick Clegg up for Betty Clegg, a Fear the Dragon out of Western Terrier mare, We Adore Thee. 26 starts this year, 4 wins, 3 seconds, 6 thirds, earnings of $22,000 already. Has had his most recent win was at Worcester in 2:03-1. Also won earlier this year at Mount Gilead in 1:58. Had a mark as a 2-year-old of 56 at Northfield Park.
And the 6 is Tropic Shores. It's a Down by the Seaside out of All Terror by Western Terror. Still getting his act together. He didn't race as a 2-year-old, which is a bit of a disadvantage, and got started late this season, so only has 6 appearances and $561 earned. Tropic Shores is trained by Vincent Miller, owned by Jeff Miller of Sugar Creek, Ohio, and today is handled by Alex Hawk. Is that right? Alex Hawk. Okay, thanks for confirming, Susan. But Tropic Shores would be a long shot in this one if you're judging by the past program lines.
Mr. Legend and Tyler Angus from the 7, Christina Johnson, the trainer, Joseph Hirschberger, the owner. This is a bit of a legend, and out of the Mistress, who's by Astros. 29 starts on the year, 1 win. That was at early this year at Marion in 2-5-3. Last 2 starts had some good miles in 2-3-1 and 2-3 at Ashland and Worcester.
Those watching have probably seen already that we have 2 trailing positions. It scores 5. We have the 6 and 7 are your trailers. With the 1 horse scratched, the 2, 3, 4, and 5 get to move inside 1, but the 6 and 7 will still be trailing.
Just want to welcome everybody. We've got Ontario, Wilmont, Ohio.
Sometimes you have Europe even. I was surprised some of the the ones that catch this all the way over across the pond.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a lot of. We picked up some people from South and Central America on the Delaware feed, so we had just a tremendous amount of people watching the feed from Delaware, especially.
So you don't often think about the harness racing as being, you know, how many other countries are, but in this town, even they have a lot of Swiss things, and Switzerland has harness racing too.
So looks like they are headed into the stretch. We're going to turn it over to Michael Carter for the.
Here we go. Treetop line, Ferguson on the outside first away. That's controlled through the away third as they round turn 1. In his time at the inside, Winston Bruce Boyd with Walker Robert in 6th and trailing for Tropic Shores into the back stretch. And we've got a brouhaha on the front end here with Treetop Flyer and Ferguson up on the outside. These two are twirling in the race to the quarter, and Treetop Flyer will never show. Away with the lead up the length and a quarter. John Ryan Melsheimer took Ferguson back into the pocket in second. Opening quarter in 27 through 5 seconds. Over the far turn they go. Pest Control is third. About 5 off the lead with the Gallon 40 in his time. At the inside is Walter Robert. The trailer is Tropic Shores. Back as they come for the first time. It is Treetop Flyer on the entry here. Left by a length to the quarter. Over Ferguson is in second. Pest Control is third. Outside 56 seconds. Everyone else doing the double final time. Treetop Flyer. Moved by a length to the quarter. Over Ferguson in second. Pest Control to the inside. Making a break for Tropic Shores. Tropic Shores going to break inside. And here comes John Ryan Melsheimer. And Ferguson up on the outside. Moving right on by Treetop Flyer. Tries to fight on. Pest Control's got a perfect trip from in the third. And he got the through back to in his time. 3 quarters in 1:26 and 1. Never reflecting the room for the final time. Ferguson has the lead by 2 lengths. Treetop Flyer tries to fight on at the inside. Here comes Ferguson time up the outside. Into the races, Pest Control is spent a bit. They turn for home. And up top here is Ferguson. Ferguson leads by 4 lengths. Ferguson straight and strong in the line by 3. Third fourth place to the Treetop Flyer in his time. Final time, 1:57, 2 clicks.
I thought for a second we had a chance for a track record there,
Yeah.
going by the 3/4 time.
They got a little bit tired coming down the lane. They had a battle up front right away, so that between Ferguson and Treetop Flyer had that battle to the quarter pole. So Ferguson just kind of drew away, well, waiting for this colt to wait for his 3-year-old season. I mean, he did not start as a 2-year-old, but I think they held him over and probably made the right decision. Is now he is 4 for 10.
And yeah, the battle on the front end early, Treetop Flyer was not going to let Ferguson go. Ferguson then did bide his time for Melsheimer, but ended up winning the battle.
And they did come home in 31 and 1.
After 3/4 and 1:26 and 1 with that track record time of 1:54 and 4 for Pacers, I thought, well, if they have a lot left, we might see it broken.
So down in the winner's circle is John Ryan Melsheimer and Ferguson.
Late surprise starting gate. presenting the starting gate. Starting the races here this afternoon. Back in front of the stand to keep your contestants in the winner's circle. The now official winner of the fourth record sled of the Bell Race Stable, John Ryan Belshire, trains and drives Little Brown Kildane by Racing Hill and the Cotter's Big Guy, there one wild woman, led Ohio by the owner's fourth. Lifetime win is blanket presented by the Tuscarawas County Fair Board. Special Richmond bringing out for race 4, please. Bring it out for the board. Finish at quarter time, so for the quarter 27-3. Half 56. Three quarters, 126-1. By the time, 157-2. Top down, Walter Roberts scratch. Pest control for treetop flyer to Ferguson. The winner, 5 in his time. 3, Popping Shores, 6, Mr. Leatherwood, 5. Scratch, 4, 2, 1, 3, 6, 5.
Interestingly enough, the trainer-driver combination that just took that race is in the next race as well. You'll see him, John Ryan Melsheimer, behind the 4 Arch Hill. I do have one driver change in that, and that is the rail horse Bob de Bomber is going to be driven by Keith Cash Jr. And interestingly enough, it looks like we're going to see an appearance by the veteran Don Irvine Jr. in the bike, as I did not get a driver's change, Susan.
Yeah, I haven't heard one either. Bob de Bomber also is racing on Lasix for the first time, so we'll see what kind of a difference that makes for Bob de Bomber. So we're going to be right back with race number 4 from Dover in just a few minutes.
The future is bright in Ohio. Ohio Sire Stakes, Buckeye Stallion Series, 66 county and independent fairs. Whether it's the Ohio Sire Stakes, the Buckeye Stallion Series, or the county fairs, Ohio has a place for your racehorse. This year, Ohio breds are racing for nearly $23 million in stakes purses. Be part of the winning. Breed, buy, race, win in Ohio.
For over 50 years, Midland Acres has provided top-quality Ohio-bred colts and fillies. As a third-generation farm, we understand the importance of delivering well-cared-for and well-mannered yearlings. Get in the winner's circle with the yearlings by Fear the Dragon, Yankee Cruiser, Long Tom, Summa Cum Laude, Ready for Money, and Bit of a Legend. Midland Acres, doing our best to bring you the best.
Do you want your horse to shine in the winner's circle? Feed DAC Oil. It makes a world of difference.
Welcome back. We got a nice note from David Myrick talking about John Ryan Melsheimer. Says he does a nice job. He believes that he got his start with the late Hall of Famer Dave Rankin. His colors are very close to Dave, so that's an interesting
He's
tidbit.
exactly right. That is exactly where he got his start.
And John Ryan always, I notice that a lot of times that he has horses that do not race at 2. He just seems to give them a lot of time, takes time to get them, make sure that they're ready, and then when he does send them out, he races primarily on that southern circuit, but when he sends them out, they're usually ready to go.
Okay, well, we'll take a look at Bob de Bomber today, being handled by Keith Cash Jr. and, as Susan mentioned earlier, adding Lasix. However, I don't know if the addition of the therapeutic medication can get this one back on stride, because when the trainer change happened, somewhere between August 26th from Ty Loy to Betty Clegg on September 2nd, this horse seemed to be discombobulated from there. He had come in, he had that barn change after a win and a second, and then went to the Clegs and has been having difficulty staying at it. He's a long time out of Lee's Little Sis by full count. Overall on the year, he's had 17 starts, 2 wins, 3 seconds, 3 thirds, $16,013 in earnings, and a best mark taken on a sloppy track at Wilmington of 2:05 and 4. Pretty nice 2-year-old, 12 starts, 8 wins, 2 seconds, and $76,273 earned, making his lifetime earnings $92,286. But today, on the last 3 appearances on the track, he has made breaks early, before the start or right after the start. So let's see if Bob DeBalmer can turn things around today.
He was certainly a super 2-year-old. He was a very good racehorse. Super James and Don Irvine Jr. is scheduled to drive. This is trained by Wes Hirschberger and owned partially by Wes and John's Racing Stable. And John's Racing Stable and Wesley also bred this horse. He's a Volstead of a Neely Dunmare Super Lily. 20 starts this year, 7 wins, 5 seconds, 3 thirds. Earnings of a little over $40,000. He has a mark of 2 minutes and 3/5 at Northfield Park. Has won his last 3 starts. Ashland in 2-6 and 4, Worcester in 2-4 and 1, and Canfield in 2-5 and 2.
The 3 is Smooth Talkin', trained by Rosie Weaver, being handled today by Drew Neal. He is a What the Hill gelding, out of time to talk by Conway Hall. You look at his lines and they're very nice. You see nothing worse than a second in his last 6. In fact, he has had 8 wins of 17 starts this year, 5 seconds, 2 thirds, and $58,330. Bankrolled and a mark of 157 and 3. He's the richest colt for this season in this particular race today, and his last victory came at Montpelier on September 11th in wire-to-wire style. He also posted a win on August 30th at Burton in wire-to-wire style. Last time out at Delaware, tried to do the same thing but had a tough post. He probably had to work for that lead a bit out of the 8-hole and cut the mile only to get beaten by half a length. Final quarter 28 and 3, mile in 1:56 and 1.
Okay, I'm thinking that we're about ready for the post parade, or maybe we are waiting for one more horse. Arch Hill, John Ryan Melsheimer drives and trains for Melrose Stable, who also bred this What the Hill colt. This is out of a Lindy Lane mare, Irresistible Lady, another one of John's horses that did not start as a 2-year-old. Has 5 starts this year, 1 win and 1 third, earnings of $5,300. That win came at McConnellsville in the Marietta meet that was raced at McConnellsville, and that was in 2:03. Did make a couple of breaks last start out at Old Washington and also at the second meet at McConnellsville, but stayed flat, raced good at the McConnellsville on 9-2.
Horses on the racetrack for the fourth race. Hometown Colt Stakes, Charlotte Trot. 3-year-old and Kelly Trotter, $1,160. Lincoln Trophy presented by Big D's Tack and Vet Supply. $1,000. First time late 6 for Betty Jo Blood, who also trained Keith Cash Figure. Super Brains is Figure by John's Racing Stable. Wes Hershberger also trains Dr. Jr. Ron Coffin and William and Rosie Weaver, the Heartland Acres, Jackie Diva, Steve Julio Johnson, and Rosie Weaver. For our show, the Nolan Stable, John and Welcome to Drink and Drive. Overtime is 5, no die. My father, Cooler, Quick, and Pepper, who are the drink, we're up the second from the South League. And for the show, thank you for the drive back to Winter. Don't get shut out. Make sure you're making away to the lead.
David Young II will handle Commander Tom from Post 5 today for trainer Steve Carter. You can probably guess that is a long Tom gelding out of For the Love of Lindy by Cantab Hall. 20 starts this year, picking up 4 wins, 7 seconds, 3 thirds, and earnings almost $40,000, $39,079. Best mark taken at Wilmington of 2:01 flat. If you were watching the races early in the week at Delaware, you would have seen him in action in a Buckeye Stallion stake facing the tougher competition. He had Post 5 there as well, got away 3rd and finished 5th. came home in 29-2, trotting the mile individually in 1:57. The mile went itself in 1:55-2 in that leg of the Buckeye Stallion Stakes. At Old Washington on September 11th, he was a 5 3/4 length winner in 2:02-2 as the favorite, and won the start before that after being parked to the half, it appears. He won by half a length in 2:03-3 at McConnellsville. So really in form, pretty formful here for Commander Tom.
The races are really slowing down, the fair races. This is the second to the last Home Talent Colt Stakes meet. They will have Coshocton on October 1st and 2nd will be a Home Talent Colt Stakes. Southern Valley is all done. Ohio Fair Racing Conference is finished up at Delaware, and the Ohio Colt Racing Association has the Montgomery County Fair meet, which is at Dayton Raceway, and then our last fair of the year, Lancaster. So the points are finalized for OFRC and for Southern Valley, so we'll probably get those posted shortly so everybody knows where they finished in those two. But we'll have to wait a little bit longer to find out about the OCRA and Home Talent Champs.
Putting the spotlight on one of our drivers in this race, Don Irvine Jr., he has 7,681 wins in his career, and he has earned over $40 million in purse earnings. Now, Don didn't stay just in Ohio. He actually drove in a lot of different states, a lot of different racetracks, some of them that are shuttered now, like Pompano Park. And when I worked at Free State Raceway in Maryland, he drove there regularly. So he has raced at many different locales, but here in Ohio, he is definitely a well-known name, and deservedly so. And did you know, Susan, that prior to 1977, they didn't even keep track of number of wins? So I think Donnie was driving before that and may well have won more than 7,681.
Absolutely. Some of these older guys, I mean, Don is 73 years old and still can handle a trotter just as well as he ever could. Nice to see him on some nice trotters too.
Yeah, it's nice to see him in action. This is the first time I've seen him at a fair this year. He was programmed once when I was working, but did not drive. He was down as trainer yesterday on one. His training wins are a lot less. I think I looked it up. It was 300.
Oh, gosh. So all 5 will be on the gate this time. Let's turn it over to Michael Carter for the call of the Home Talent Colt Stakes 3-year-old Colt Trot.
The victor wins top the stretch. All set for the 4th race. In behind. The Elite Supply starting gate. Here they come. They're off, and there's Brian Bob and Pollard. At the inside, getting the first call with Smooth Talking. Those two will duel around the first turn. Super James came away in the 3rd. And there's Arch Hill. And the drivers, Commander Tom. Into back stretch will go with Bob the Bomber. Up by a length and 3/4 over Smooth Talking. Gavin for the pocket second. Super James is 3rd. A length and a 1/4 clear. Above Hill in the trailer is Commander Tom. Bob the Bomber leads them over the opening quarter in 29 and 4/5 seconds. Into the far turn they go for the first time. Smooth Talking. Down at the inside is second with Arch Hill racing in 3rd. And towards the inside, as they come by us for the first time, it is Bob the Bomber. Bob the Bomber up here by a length and a 1/4. Pocket Shadow in 2nd. They come down here to the half. Smooth Talking. There's Super James in the 3rd. The length and a 1/4 clear of Arch Hill and Commander Tom. At the half of a minute and 4/5 seconds. And quick one else, they go for the final time. Bob the Bomber still leads the way. Up here by a length and a 1/4. In the pocket second is Smooth and Talking as they move into the backstretch. First up and driving now. Here comes Commander Tom off the rail. Is Smooth Talking. Super James slips through the inside. And Bob the Bomber split the mid here. And somehow Irvine's not trying to find a way through with Super James. And they are actively in 3/4 partner. They move around the far turn. Bob the Bomber is on top here. 3/4, 4/31. And with 4/5 seconds, into the hard turn, and there you go. Off stride there, between horses for Smooth Talking. Off stride upon the outside. Thomas outside. Bob the Bomber has the lead. Bob the Bomber to the lead. Super James was second. Very tight first show. Either Arch Hill or Commander Tom. It was unofficial. Time attack. Just 2-2.
2:02 and 2, and Keith Cash Jr. was in the bike for this one. He did drive him one other time, but he was able to hustle him to the front without a break. He didn't break at the start this time.
Yeah, raced very, very well, improved. There will be an inquiry on this race as Commander Tom was running as he crossed the wire and he was lapped on, so I think they'll have some
There'll be a placing for
changes.
sure. And he was on such a gallop, he had him to the far outside of the track, which was good. Smooth Talkin' was the horse that came first up, and he made a break. He made a break also, didn't he? I think he did.
I usually try and put an X down if they do, but I didn't have one for him, but he very well could have. Kind of had my eyes glued on Bob the Bomber, watching him, just hoping that he stayed flat.
Well, he did. He turned things around. He's back to his formful ways. He likes to be up close or on top. That's what we saw when he was still with the Ty Loy barn back at Mount Gilead and Wilmington.
And this is a new record this year for his 3-year-old year, 2-2 and 2. He had one at Wilmington in 2-5 and 4. So Betty Clegg down in the winner's circle, getting ready for Bob the Bomber to come back.
And so is Keith Cash Jr.'s wife, Melinda. She'll be at the head of the horse there as they pose for that picture.
Back in front of the field. After the play break, sponsored by 15 Patrick West Flag, Every District contested winner circle. One top of the bottom, everybody playing to get you the winning driver. They just got off now. The set down there, late both sets. Third win of the year.
The sigh of relief. You've been having difficulties with one, and then it looks to be ironed out. You did something right.
Yeah, absolutely. This horse, as we talked about earlier, this horse was just such a great 2-year-old. I just remember watching him. He was 10 for 12 for seconds, first and second, earned $76,000, had a nice mark as a 2-year-old of 58 and 1 at Delaware. So good to see Bob the Bomber trot the mile.
Yeah, and I think everybody liked his name. It's not,
Yes,
when he was winning,
kind
it
of
was
fun.
a lot of fun. It was bombs away, right?
Yeah. So the judges will be looking at.
It'll
Oh,
take
okay.
a moment,
Yep.
but that'll change. Everybody's going to get a check, but it'll change the
How
amount.
big the check? Yeah. Yeah, I think Commander Tom is going to get a little check. Yeah, and he may be fourth because that other horse was quite a ways back, but we'll see.
Yeah, Smooth Talkin', wasn't it? I believe Smooth Talkin'. I think he made a break, as I said also.
You can't gain ground while on a break, and I think that he seemed to me like he was gaining some ground, and I don't think that that was David Young's intention. I think that at
No.
that point he may not have had a whole lot of choice in it. Sometimes these horses go off, and it's really hard to pull them back down and
Right,
get them back trotting.
They kind of lose it, and they go on an unrestrained run, and trying to even get them back on gate, let alone, like you say, getting them pulled up to not be gaining ground while they're on a gallop is not easy.
Okay, so they are going to call Keith Cash Jr. to the starter. Our starter today is Mike Webkenberg. Sometimes we have a Mike Webkenberg gate and not Mike in it because he goes to so many different places. But I did see today Mike sitting in the starting gate. So the driver will go over by him, and then they will talk to the judges up in the judges' booth.
Now, Keith was on the inside, of course, from the rail, pushing to get out of there, and I believe it might have been Smooth Talkin' that was going with him for a bit. I am not positive. I'd have to see that replay, Susan. My memory serves me right. I'm not exactly sure. But I know he was not able to cross over.
As we said, just a few fairs left to go, but we've got a lot of exciting racing in October for you. As Frank Frost says, October is for champions. So we've got a lot of the championship races. We'll have the Ohio Sire Stakes, both the Scarlet and the Gray Championship. Those are October 12th and 13th at Northfield Park. And we have the Buckeye Stallion Series Finals, which is October 5th at Hollywood Gaming at Dayton Raceway. And if you're coming on October 5th for the Buckeye Stallion Series, you might as well just stay overnight, because we're going to be starting October 6th, and that Sunday we'll be starting those Montgomery County Fair races, either at 11 a.m. or 1 p.m. It depends on how many races they have. Sometimes they have, 24, 25 races, so they do start some of them at 11. So they can get some cleared out to get the new batch of horses into their paddock. And also, you can't go with the card that long for the betting purposes, so there's some.
And are
that
you
go
still
early.
collecting those passports for each fair up until the
Absolutely.
very end? So at Delaware, Frank had said they had something for anybody that have 5 and appeared at Delaware during that week, and you kept things under wraps. What did they get?
It was a T-shirt.
Okay.
And it said, my passport got stamped at an Ohio County Fair. It was really a very cute T-shirt.
Very cute.
Yeah,
Very creative.
We also had some other T-shirts that we gave out. We gave out a lot of swag at Delaware. A lot of swag, a lot of food, a lot of water, a lot of donuts. We went through 18
Oh, I can't
dozen.
imagine. Nobody likes donuts.
Yeah, 18 dozen just on Jug Day. 10 dozen the first 3 days of the week, and then I think we had 14 dozen on Jugette Day and 18 dozen, and probably close to, I'm thinking right around 800 little bags of salty snacks and another 500 bags of cookies and sugary snacks. So we're still holding all tickets. We also had apples. So we had a lot. Nobody went away hungry from our tent at Delaware. And the tent was full, way fuller than it's ever been before. We had people that were sitting in there. We had fans going, so it was kind of nice.
A lot of
and
tables and
comfortable.
chairs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so people
it was
came
nice.
and sat down
Televisions.
and watched the races from in there. So it was
Comfortable
nice.
for some of them that didn't want it. It was so hot.
Yeah, it was hot in the sun.
Very hot in the sun.
So you had an opportunity to join OHHA while you were there, and we had quite a few people that did join, way more than we have in the past, joining both associate memberships and the active membership. So if you are a fan of racing, you don't have any horses racing, you can join for just $25. That gets you the 4 Buckeye Harness newsletters, which are really, really, shouldn't call them newsletters, they're a magazine. And it's a full color magazine. It's really, really well put together. That also gets you the staking guide in the spring. The Stallion Directory comes out usually end of January, first part of February. So a lot of publications, and also that membership card gets you into all of the Ohio Fair Racing Conference fairs for free. So you can use that as
Very worthwhile. You get a lot of bang for your buck at
yeah.
$25 for that.
Yeah, if you go to 3 fairs, you've about paid for it. So we have a lot of, and it's just kind of a nice thing to say you're a member of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association. If you are a horse owner, breeder, if you have something to do with a horse that you're hoping to make money with in some way, then you have to be the $65 or the active member.
And that's still a bargain.
Yes,
actually.
It is. There's a lot of things that go with that.
In fact, I have payments for you today for my 2 prospective broodmares. Well, one has had a couple babies. The other one is going to have her first foal in the spring. So that's another thing you have to take care of all the breeding and the paperwork for that, so they can give breeders awards.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, even though our fairs are winding down and going to be over, and then we go into the championship races. But then we also have the breeders awards all coming in. There's usually about 1,300 mares that get registered, that all have to be noted and registered. And we also have this year the fair, the capital improvement grants and the feature race grants, the deadlines for those applications have moved up this year. It always used to be November 30th, but we have moved that up to October 30th. So anybody's listening that's on the fair board or knows somebody that is on a fair board, you want to get those applications in as early as you can. You are also required to fill out a kind of a report about your racing, and that's just kind of to help us see where the money's being spent. You know, you get quite each fair gets money to help put on their program, and we want to make sure that everybody's getting covered and everybody has enough to put on their racing program.
Well, I was talking earlier about the track. We see them watering it now, and it must have been very fast in 2016. And I had the pleasure today of talking with Jamie Coffey about Bourbon Street Hanover, who set the record, the all-age pace record here in 2016. That was a sight unseen purchase, and it came off of Bill Zent. One of her friends, Eddie McKnight, had jogged the horse a few times, and he knew that it was available and thought it would be worth the $5,500 price tag that she paid. So bought it sight unseen, and he was a very difficult horse. She told me that it wasn't until they raced him, I think, 9 starts in 13 days that he turned things around. Jeff Lieberman, she said, was an asset in helping her train him. Oh my. Well, from being joyous to being quite the other direction. So just to finish my story quickly before we get ready for that next one in the post parade, she actually drove him here once, and she said that was her happiest experience because she missed the gate by 30 lengths and ended up winning. So he's a special horse to her, and I can understand, and she has one in later today.
That's a lot of ground to make up, 30 lengths.
And here we had this placing, which, as I said, that's a heartbreak always. We're yet to get the complete rundown, did you?
No, I have not got that yet.
Mile was in 2:02 and 2, and apparently Bob DeBomber interfered early.
So it was first placed 5th. So we'll get the rest of that rundown to you at some point, but we're getting ready for the 5th race. We have a couple changes that we know about. The 1, Seize the Bay, is a scratch. So scratch the 1, and the 5, Center Story, will be driven by Keith Cash. And those are all the changes that we know about.
Keith Cash, his dad still does a little bit of driving every once in a while of his own horses at Northfield. And for the long time, you know, I knew Keith Cash Sr. from doing interviews with him over at the Meadows. But I didn't catch that a lot of people call Keith Cash Jr. to differentiate. They call him Josh as a nickname. I don't know what the holdup is on the... I would then think that the if Bob DeBomber was placed 5th, Super James then was he the winner then, right?
Yeah, I'm just gonna wait for them to tell us.
Yeah, I don't know. I do not know either. Oh my. Okay.
Okay, so
they're still sorting that out.
So we will just wait on that and see. And of course, a lot of these drivers are in the next race, so they've got to finish talking to them before they can get back and get on their next horse.
Well, this is where when your starting car follows the horses around on the track, and you have your patrol judge. They see a lot, as well as the judges that are in the stand, to help sort things out. And when they called Mike, serving his double duty there, when they called him over to the starting gate to see what he saw and talk to Keith.
Yeah, unfortunately at the fairs, the
So Donnie Irvine ends up getting another win, making it 7,682 life, and boosting his lifetime earnings as a driver as well.
So a couple of different things went on in that fourth race where Bob the Bomber was interfered with another horse at the top of the stretch, but then Commander Tom was running at the wire and was lapped on. So a couple different places. That's always kind of hard. All right.
After all placings, one Bob the Bomber, first disqualified, place fifth for interference. Two Super James, second place first. Three Smooth Talking, fifth place fourth. Four Art Show, fourth place third, place second. Five Commander Tom, third place second, place third. Recheck top down after placings, 5, 1, 4, 2, and 3. Bring it out for the fourth race. Bring it out for race 4, please.
This is the time where I'm glad I'm not the charter.
Right.
Because when you've got double placings, you've got Arch Hill, who was fourth place, third place, second, and then you've got Commander Tom, who was third place, second, and then place third. So kind of confusing, but Super James, your official winner. Still, Bob the Bomber trotted good.
Yeah,
we can't take that away from him.
No, we cannot. The first race was 2-year-old Colt and Gelding Pacers, and we're going to see them action here in the second division of the Buckeye Classic Pace with one change on that race, and that is the one horse Seize the Bay is scratched. Also, the 5 Center Story, as Susan already mentioned, will be handled by Keith Cash Jr. And that's what we've got headed next after this break from our sponsors.
Hi, I'm Dean Gillespie, and I want to tell you about the Ohio Colt Racing Association. There's 19 member fairs, and they sponsor the Partial Futurity in Greenville, Ohio. You need to race in the OCRA. Great racetracks, great people. Bring the kids and come out to the fair, and remember, fair time is fun time.
Okay, looks like we're almost ready for the post-parade of this fifth race after all of that placings that we had in the fourth. I think we're waiting for Keith Cash to get out here, but he was busy on the phone or the radio, so he might have to still, I think he's just coming out onto the track now.
So should we get one done? We'll look at the 2, Arrow John, Chris Terschberger in the bike for trainer Daniel Hale of Utica, Ohio. This one did not have many starts this season, just 4. So he is still, I would say, very unseasoned, even as a freshman. Last started at Ashland on September 16th, made a break before the half, finished 5th, and paced in 2:05 and 3. Start before that at Worcester, finished 4th, 2:04 and 2. At Canfield was 2nd and actually flashed some talent there, 2:01 and 1. And at Canton was 7th in his first appearance. So that's Arrow John.
Presented in Beverly in honor of Dallas L. Clark through the field, 1 out to Arrow John. Daniel Hale also great Chris Terschberger. And his late ride, 3 radio gentlemen, Christina Copeland, take this late. Number 4, Red Hot Ember. There was the top 2 and Aaron Hodge for the Linda Main. So our story is 5 of the tournament with Clay Cash Jr. 16 related to Young Skills, Steve Carter Train, David Young the second.
3-spot Rodeo Jet, Angus Lake up. Angus also trains this horse, belongs to Christina Koblenz from Worcester, Ohio. This is a Rodeo Romeo out of a Jeremy's Jet mare, Jet Scent. 12 starts on the year, 4 wins, 5 seconds, and a third. So that's 10 out of 12 hitting the board. Has already earned $21,620. Fastest time is 1:57 and 3 at Bucyrus. Last start out of Ashland, finished 2nd in 2:2 and 3. Also had a win at Canfield in 58 and 1.
Linda Main trains Red Hot Ember that will be handled today by Lanny Merriman, owner Richard E. Johnson from the Villages in Florida. What a popular spot. He's a Catch the Fire colt. He's still intact out of Rock and Call by Rock and Amadeus. He comes into this race after being scratched sick from Worcester, so hasn't had any starts since September 2nd. There he was at Canfield and had a third place finish. It was kind of a distant third, beaten 16 lengths, but he did pace in 2:03 and 3 there. On August 29th, he was fifth at Canton, a mile in 2:09. Before that, he's had lines where he's been third, second, and second at Mansfield. Actually, on August 5th, his second by 4 lengths. He turned in a mile in 2:04 and 3 there. 9 starts on the year, no wins, 2 seconds, 3 thirds, and $6,393.
Center Story changed the driver to Keith Cash. Betty Clegg trains and owns. This is a well-said colt out of an Art Major mare, Art Center. 23 starts on the year, 5 wins, 9 seconds, 6 thirds, over $30,000 in earnings, a qualifying mark of 2 minutes and 3/5, taken at Northfield Park. Won 2 starts back at Ashland in 2:03, raced at Delaware just a few days back, was second, just back by half a length, but paced a mile in 56 and 4.
The 6, Gene Said, is another well said. This one out of the mare Chasing Maddie by Always a Virgin. Last started at Ashland, had a second place finish, pacing in 2:02 and 4. Had the rail that day. Is going to be in the trailing position today, and I think it's the only time that I can see that he had to perform from the trailing position. Back on September 11th at Old Washington, he had a 4th place finish, but after that we see second and then a trio of thirds. Overall this season, 11 starts, no wins, 3 seconds, 7 thirds, $14,421 in earnings, and David Young II is his regularly assigned driver.
We talk about sometimes about horses that have bad luck drawing, but my goodness, Gene Said has very good luck drawing. Do the 1, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1 that we can see, so a very good drawing horse.
And if he hasn't been behind the one post before, we'll see how he handles that. Some of them have a little difficulty with that. They don't know what's expected of him.
This is the only time that we can see that he's come from the second tier. So let's turn it over to Michael Carter for the call of this, the Home Talent Colt Stakes, 2-year-old Colt and Gelding Pacers, 2nd Division.
Top of the stretch, pick up speed, here they come. Second, Gene Said in the third. To the inside racing next, move there, Johnson moving into the back stretch. Then comes Red Hot Ember, who is the trailer out the back stretch, they move to the third side. Center Story, Josh Cash up top by a length and a quarter over Rodeo Kennedy, Pocket Shadow second. Then comes Gene Said, 3 off the lead from in third to clear. And they move to the opening and quarter Sandler, Rodeo Kennedy, Red Hot Ember is the trailer. Opening quarter was 30, then 2 second. Into the far turn they go. Center Story still up top here by a length and a quarter. Gene Said right there in the third, then 3 back to Rudy and Dempsey from the 5 and 10-20 at first down. And on the lead, Center Story up by a length and a quarter. Rodeo Cat is right tight in second. Gene Said is third with Arrow Dog in fourth with clear and Red Hot Ember as they move into the last turn to the final time. Time, 1 minute from lap. Into the back stretch they go for the final time. Center Story will be a 1.5 length clear over. Rodeo Kenny's in the second. Gene Said the inside is the third with Arrow Johnson from in the fourth. And Red Hot Ember is the trailer. Driving out from the front from Rodeo and Jet with Center Story up by 3/4 of a length. Gene Said at the inside from in third as they hit into the fourth turn. Center Story leads. 3/4, 129, the fourth rest. Into the fourth turn, into the top of the stretch. Center Story, a 1 length leader. Rodeo Jet is on the outside. These two are good. Down to these two. Here's the stretch. It's to the wire. Center Story at the inside. Rodeo Jet coming on the outside. Center Story, Rodeo Jet, Center Story. Rodeo Jet on the outside, there it comes.
Okay. Well, here we have another winner handled by Keith Cash Jr. And he did it in the same style he did in the last race before he got placed for interference. He put him right on the front end.
Miling 159 and 4.
That's 2/5 of a second slower than our first division, which was the first race.
532 unofficial.
And I think you can round that out with the 6 and then the 4 finished 5th, I believe. Center Story had shown with a wire-to-wire victory back there at Ashland, and they have left with him at Delaware too there, where he finished second by half a length, so he has a good early foot when they need it. I was surprised to see Rodeo Jet pull the pocket as early as he did, as they weren't really, you know, there wasn't a lot of action and they weren't that close, but he pulled the pocket early and then had to be outside around the last turn battling.
So centers.
Winner circle. Your now official winner, number 5, Center Story. Trained by Becky Clay. Cashier. The winning drive. The 6th career victory. Zero Omega going 7. The Arcadia there, Art Center. Right there by the Wingback Farm. Race 5 presented in honor and memory of Dallas L. Martin. Race number 6 is the Dean Beachy Memorial. The open trot for $3,000 there. Harden's on the 2, Keith Cash Jr. on the 3. Let's have one through its way. Bring it up for race 6.
Calling the 6th race out all right, and that is that first open with the top 7 money earners that put in the box in 2024. Ohio bred or owned was preferred for a purse of $3,000. That's going to be the Dean Beachy Memorial Open, and many of the insiders know that Dean Beachy, a popular auctioneer here in Ohio.
So we should be getting the official rundown in just a moment.
We've talked a lot about the all-age pace record that was set in 2016. The all-age trot record set in 2016 went to Count Full Mac. He was a 4-year-old at the time. 157.4, and Bud High was the trainer and the driver for that.
Well, let's take a short break, and then when we come back, we'll give you that rundown, and then we'll take a look at the horses in the 6th.
Own a little and love it a lot. TheStable.ca is an award-winning fractional ownership operation. Buy as little as 1% of a racehorse and experience 100% of the thrill. TheStable.ca makes ownership easy, accessible, and affordable. Communication and customer service are at the heart of everything we do. Get started at TheStable.ca.
When you need supplies for your horse, one name stands out: Big D's. Since 1976, Big D's Tack and Vet Supply has been the equine experts you can trust. Whatever your horse needs is available at Big D's Tack and Vet Supply. Visit the retail outlet in Streetsboro, Ohio, or order online at BigDWeb.com for fast shipping. Most orders ship that day. Or call 1-800-321-2142. Big D's Tack and Vet Supply.
Okay, welcome back. We still have not got the official rundown, so we can talk about some of the horses in this race. You want to go, Trish?
Sure. I didn't see a driver's change, so it looks like we're going to have Aaron Merriman grace us with his presence for trainer Jamie Coffey that I spoke about. She actually told me that if he shows up here, she's very grateful, has a very grateful heart, because she looked at the field and she said, I don't think I'll have any chance really of getting a very good check. So that's from the rail. Rev it up, man, and she was just being honest. This is a bay gelding, 8 by Man of Many Missions out of Rose Run Marcy by Train for the Future. 27 starts on the year, 4 wins, 2 seconds, 2/3, $19,994 earned, and a mark of 158 and 1 at Northfield. Last time out at Northfield on September 16th, this horse was racing in a non-winners of 2,500 last 4. That's the overnight classification he has been in his last 4 starts, where prior he worked his way up from non-winners of 1,500 last 4. In his last 4 appearances in this class, he has a 4th place finish most recently, then a 2nd place finish, a 4th place finish, and a win back on August 19th. Aaron Merriman, of course, 15,900 wins to his credit, and we don't often see him at the county fairs here with just a single drive.
Yeah, I would be surprised if he was here. Very surprised.
But at any rate, this horse lifetime has earned over $100,000, 115 starts, 16 wins, 16 seconds, 11/3, and his best mark, 154 and 1.
So the 2, Vroom and Vonnie at Darren Harvey will drive, so Che make that change. Carl Easterday Jr. is the trainer. Chris Easterday, the owner, and Carl was the breeder. So this is a 5-year-old mare by full count out of an Inquirer Dam, Cindy Coy. 68 lifetime starts, 8 wins, 16 seconds, 15/3, $76,000 in earnings, and a mark as a 4-year-old. So last year in 157 and 3. This horse has been racing really, really well in the Signature Series races at the fairs. Was in the final and finished 7th, but trotted her mile in 58 and 2.
Owner, trainer Betty Clegg has decided to have Keith Cash Jr. handle Nothing But a Dreamer from post 3 here, and I would not be surprised to see him going forward again, as this horse is on a win streak, 3 strong, and 2 of the 3 times he was on the front end. The only time he wasn't was 2 back at Delaware, where he had the 5-hole and he had to settle in 4th. Looks like he made the movement to first up and battling, and then won the war, winning by 7 lengths at Delaware in 155 and 1. 20 starts on the season for this muscle mass out of My Impossible Dream by Chocolatier, with 5 wins, 2 seconds, 1/3, and $31,732 in earnings. Best mark taken of 154 and 2. And can you help me out? Is that in Canada? I am thinking that might be in Canada. Yes, because the horse has been racing in Canada some. So Nothing But a Dreamer.
The last 2. Oh, over here, yeah, I think that's Prescott.
Prescott, okay.
The 4, Knights Guard, Eric Miller drives and trains. DM Equine from Millersburg, Ohio. The owners, this is a 5-year-old Muscle Hill out of a Taurus Dream mare, Stubborn Bell. Lifetime 48 starts, 2 wins, a mile in, or earnings of $43,631. Had a mark last year of 157 and 4 at Tioga Downs. Interesting about this horse, this was a Lexington selected sale for $400,000 as a yearling. Of course, he is a Muscle Hill. I thought it was kind of interesting. He was purchased and brought to the Andy Miller stable in New Jersey. He had just had 1 start at Lexington as a 2-year-old, made a break, but he qualified at the Big M in Meadowlands in 157 and 3 as a 2-year-old. As a 3-year-old, he raced at 6 different tracks. He was kind of getting around. Went to Yonkers, Philadelphia, Lexington, Oak Grove, Gateway Farms, and Pocono Downs. And Sandy Beatty had him in 2024 and raced him quite a bit, and now has just sold him to Eric Miller. So this is the first start that Eric Miller has had this, but a $400,000 yearling, you always wonder
what happened. The 5, Global Girl, will be the one to stop. She has a winning string that is at least 6 long. It looks like it might even be 7 straight because she's won 7 of 14 starts this year, earning $29,265 with a mark taken at Northfield of 154-3. That equaled her season's best last year, where she went 154-3 at Miami Valley. Now, Global Girl has been racing in those signature series, which are very popular, and then steps into this Dean Beachy Memorial Open today in the best form of anybody on the card.
Absolutely, Global Girl. She raced absolutely great at Delaware, winning that final.
And I guess I should say we have Don Irvine Jr. back in the bike for Sue Stockwell.
Tulsa Bell and Nick Clegg for Betty Clegg. Let's go to the post parade.
First is on the racetrack in the 6th race, Dean Beachy at Memorial Open Trot. One record up there, only Trinity Coffee. The leading and gas-breaking driver, Aaron Merriman, putting us here at the fair. Number 2, Ruben Ronnie. From back this east today, Harley Jr. Darren Hardy drives the 2, Ruben Ronnie. 3, nothing but a leader. Over 3 with a leader, Clay. Gas Jr. drives the 3, nothing but a leader. Eric Miller drives 4, Night Star. On the D&E clock. Eric Miller 4, Night Star. 5, Global Girl. Tennessee Stockwell, Summer Jr. drives the 5, Global Girl. 6, Tulsa Bell. Around Beachy, Betty Clegg Trace, Big Clegg drives. The 6, Tulsa Bell. In the 7th, Swan Last Sassy. Those trained and driven by Marvin River. The 7th, Swan Last Sassy. Couple minutes left on Winter on the Dean Beachy Memorial Open Trot.
So starting from the second tier, Nick Clegg and Tulsa Bell. Betty Clegg trains for Robert Beachy from Berlin, Ohio. This is a 6-year-old mare. Don't You Forget It, out of a Majestic Sun mare. 157 lifetime starts, so I believe that is the most lifetime starts of anybody in this race. 19 wins, 21 seconds, 25 thirds, has earned $164,656, has a mark just last year as a 5-year-old of 154-4, did win this year at Northfield Park in 57-2, raced in a free-for-all last start out at Ashen, just lost by a nose, was driven by Braden Rhodes in that race, was timed in 2:7-3.
Marvin Raber is his own trifecta here, as he owns, trains, and drives Swan Lassie. Now, she's a nicely bred 4-year-old mare by Swan for All out of an SJ's Caviar Dam called Simply Sassy, but does not have much to brag about in her last 6 starts. 20 starts on the year, and in the last 6 has not earned a check. Has been trotting in around 159-3 pretty regularly. The sole win came at Northfield in 2 minutes and 2/5, no seconds and 2/3, $8,766. We'll have her work cut out for her today in that second tier from post 7. But we talked about Aaron Merriman. I mentioned 15,900 wins, 13,492 seconds, and 11,741 thirds. You talk about a busy guy. He has been behind the gate 83,827 times. So this will make it 83,828. And Jamie Coffey, I understand why she said she'd be very grateful if he showed up, and he did. She has a good relationship with him. She said that he brought all the speed out in her earlier horse that we talked about, Bourbon Street, Hanover.
Yeah, but Aaron can get speed out of all horses. Yep. I think he's just amazing, and keeps so busy and driving here and there, doing two tracks in one day. Yeah,
he has over 118 million in purse earnings.
So from the rail out, we've got Rev It Up Man, Vroom and Vani, Nothing But a Dreamer, Knight's Guard, Global Girl, and trailing will be Tulsa Bell and Swan Last Sassy. Let's turn it over to Michael Carter for the call of this 6th race.
So we're ready for this 6th race by the Ohio Horse Association. That's the live stream for each of the county fairs. He is up there working here today at the Tuscarawas County Fair. They're top of the stretch, all set. Picking up speed, here they come. They're off and riding with the exception of the one to rev it up there in the 3-0 Bonnie Dreamer. He's taking up without stern, and it's a little girl on top here. 5 3 legs. They move to the back strip. Down to the inside, Ruben Bronny, yapping front in second, with Mike Star to the inside, front in third. We got from 3, back to Tulsadale in fourth. Then comes strong, fast, sassy. Well, there's nothing but a dreamer. And rev it up and just the trailer. They go past the opening quarter here. In 21 seconds flat, into the park and the world. Okay, Trotter. With the lead is Global Girl. We're on there by Global Republic. Up here by 2 legs as they come down and play the stand with Night Star. Right there in second. Ruben Bronny is right there as well as they come by the stand for the first time. And this Global Girl on top by 2. Ruben and Bronny at the inside is the second. They run back to Night Star in third. They're on a half. And 58-4. Everyone else turning over 5 times. Global Girl still the leader. Global Girl's on top 5. 4 legs over a Night Star. Second with Ruben Bronny. The move up the back stretch. Offside is nothing but the dreamer. Then comes Tulsa Bell, who's about 6 clears. Swan last sassy as they head to the 3-quarter marker with Global Girl on top here by 6. 3 quarters. 127-3. Get a shot at the track record here. There's Global Girl with the lead by 6 around the final turn to Ruben Bronny in second. The gap of 4 back to Night Star on the inside. Here's Tulsa Bell and Dick Clan. Then it was Global Girl. She's got a shot out of here. Global stands on the inside chasing her home. She's going to win by about 8 lengths in the end. Ruben and Bronny runs in second. Then to Night Star and Tulsa Bell.
Record by Count Fulmack by 3/5 of a second. This one goes to another 4-year-old, and this one a mare, Global Girl, and she demolished this field, Susan. She just demolished them.
Went right to the top, which is her normal thing to do. I'm so happy for Sue Stockwell. I interviewed her after the win at Delaware. She said her heart was pumping so hard she could hardly speak, but just so proud of this horse. Says it's the best horse she's ever had, and what a wonderful horse.
And anybody that races in Ohio wants to race at Delaware if they can.
So a new track record. Got a little over $30,000 earned this year, but $134,000 earned last year, and $315,000 lifetime. So she must have been a really nice 2-year-old also. Got a mark of 54-3 as a 3-year-old, and a mark of 54-4 at Northfield Park this year, and now a new track record here at Dover.
Well, the other one stood a test of 8 years. We'll see how long this one lasts. Horses are getting, it seems like, faster all the time. Just think when it used to be be great to have a 2-minute horse, then 155, and now you see so many miles in 150 and change, and a lot of miles actually under that mark.
Yeah.
Last night, I believe, I can't remember which race, whether it was the one Duncan was in, or it might have been the one Duncan was in, 148-1.
Coming back in front of the stand after setting the track record here at Tuscarawas County Fair, previous record 157 by Count Fulmack. Here is Global Girl coming home the winner in 157. 110, new track record. By Global Girl is only trained by Sue Stockwell to lead Ohio. Dr. Ryan Jr. the winning side. We're on day here by Global Republic. Without our man, Mayor Bill Alta. From Ohio, 22nd lifetime win, 8th of the year, 157-1. This race sponsored by Mount Hope Auction and Kaufman Realty. Goodbye. Succession.
Down in just a moment from Michael Carter.
It was an uncharacteristic break for Rev It Up Man. He didn't show any brakes. I know she said she thought he was in tough. He had the rail and actually broke shortly after that and made multiple breaks in the mile. Maybe the track did not agree with him. Going from one surface to another, sometimes they don't get a hold of a track the same. Our second place finisher was the two, Ruben Bonney, I believe. That when Darren Harvey was in the bike, I believe. Was that right? Darren Harvey and
Yeah, Darren Harvey
Bay
drove
Jr.?
Ruben Bonney, yes. I didn't.
Talk about wins. Remember when Hervé Filion was great and considered like the all-time great for his 15,000 victories. And now here Aaron has superseded that, but the winningest driver, of course, of all time is still Dave Pallone now, who has 21,000 plus wins to his credit and keeps pretty close to the Meadows racetrack in Pennsylvania.
We've talked about that before, and how if Dave's still driving, so could Aaron pass him ever, but as long as Dave keeps driving, Aaron keeps driving, they're probably going to stay with that gap in between, but it's amazing for both of those guys.
Well, it depends on the retirement age Dave Pallone wants to retire. Right. There is an age gap there, as of course Dave Pallone is in his 60s. I don't know exactly 60 what. I don't have it with me, so.
Yeah, Aaron Merriman is 46. Every time that we have him on the air, he talks about slowing down, and he just never does.
Nope, Energizer Bunny.
Yeah. So I'm not sure when we're getting the.
Well, we've been missing these rundowns a bit. I think they may be losing. I don't know, losing track of where they're at. I'm not sure.
Well, let's take a short break and we'll come back with race number 7.
Cool Winds Farm in Lima, Ohio is a full-service standardbred breeding farm. Cool Winds stands the popular dancing Yankee, a 2-time world champion, along with 2019 jug winner Southwind Ozzy, the son of Some Beach Somewhere. Cool Winds also stands the royally bred $2 million earning Western Fame. Cool Winds Farm wants to thank all the bidders and buyers that supported the Ohio Selected Jug Sale.
At Ohio State's Galbraith Equine Center, our veterinary champions are here for your champions 24/7, 365 days a year. Our expert team of boarded surgeons, sports medicine and rehabilitation specialists, together with veterinary cardiologists, internal medicine, and ophthalmologists, make our hospital your best resource for all sport horse performance issues. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center's Galbraith Equine Hospital. Call us today at 614-292-6661.
So that was your rundown for race number 6. Coming up, race number 7. Number 7 is the you're okay. Race number 7 is a hometown colt stakes 2-year-old colt pace, the 3rd division. We've got just 5 in it. We want to give you all a reminder of the races coming up in the next, the last of our fairs. We've got Coshocton on the 1st and 2nd of October, and the Montgomery County Fair races that are held at Dayton Raceway on the 6th, and then Lancaster on October 9th and 10th. So just a few left. Just a few left to get your passport stamped. If you want to still try to get in that, there is still going to be one big major prize. Okay, we do have the rundown for you for the 5th race. If you guys want to turn back to your 5th race program, we got the official one. The 1 is a scratch. The 2 Arrow John was 3rd. Rodeo Jet 2nd. Red Hot Ember 5th. Center Story your winner, and Gene said 4th. So we should be caught up now. As we were talking about the upcoming fair races, make sure if you've got a lot of stickers on your passport and you want to get a few more, come to some of these fairs and get your sticker so you can send it in for a chance of the grand prize. We also had t-shirts to give away if you had won at least 5, or if you had been to at least 5 fairs over the summertime. You got a t-shirt at Delaware. I am not sure how many t-shirts are left, so we'll have to see if we have any left to get out to people. We had a lot of people come at Delaware, and I'm going to be truthful, on Thursday night we just packed everything up and take it back to Grove City to the office, and it's sitting there just like we brought it. So we'll be able to count stuff up next week and see what we have left, if we have any of those passport t-shirts to give out to people who were at least 5 fairs.
Well, this is our 3rd and final division of the 2-year-old colt and gelding pace. That's the Buckeye Classic pace. In the first race, they went in 159 and 2, and in the second division, 159 and 4. We'll see what they do here. I think they're getting him gathered up for the post parade. We may have time to take a look at the 1-horse Lucky Baloo, trained by Stephen Harris and owned by Madison Hochstetler, along with Don Whistlegren of Navarre, Ohio. 11 starts on the year, no wins, no seconds, 3/3, and $7,290 earnings. Last start was at Ashland, and we'll pick that up after we go to this post parade.
Horses on the racetrack in 7th race. 2-year-old colt and gelding pacers, 3rd division, the Hometown Colt Stakes, the Buckeye Classic pace. Here's the field one, Lucky Baloo, the Madison Hochstetler, and John Whistlegren. Alex Hawk drives for Steve Harris. Professional Stakes 2, owned by Herbert Stillson, and Lee Wanger, who also trains full seven driving games to Tyler Rangus. Down in the line was through the Rosie Weaver, the Hartman leader to the Ozarks, Rosie Weaver. 6 leg drives through it. Here's Rackets for Bennyburg play. And number 5, all 40 for the CMC Stables, Chris Rickberger, and Drive.
Okay, so back to Lucky Baloo, handled by Alex Hawk for trainer Stephen Harris at Ashland. He had the 5-hole finish, a distant 4th. Justin Irvine was in the bike that day. He managed to pace in 2:06 and 4. His fastest time this season that I can see was back at Woodsfield on August 21st, where he toured the oval in 2:04 and 2. Has been consistent going into 4 and change. We'll have the rail today and see what he can do with Alex Hawk in the bike. He handled him 2 back and 4 back, so he's well familiar with this Charlie Barley gelding.
Cool Augustus and Angus Lake from the 2-hole Amy Wengert trains. She co-owns and also bred this Mr. Cooley colt. Is also owned by Herbert Steele Nicholson from Canal Fulton, Ohio. This is out of a Survivor Gold Mare Twinkie. 9 starts on the year, has had 2/3 earnings of a little over $3,000. Last time out at Ashland was 3rd, but was back by quite a bit. Paces mile in 2:06 and 1, and that was the fastest he's paced in the last 6 starts.
Drew Neal and Rosie Weaver team up again here with the 3-horse Bounding Delight. It's a Fear the Dragon gelding out of Bound to Be Good by Bettor's Delight. Having a pretty good year. 11 starts, 3 wins, 3 seconds, 1/3, and $12,060 in earnings here from fair racing. Best mark taken at Mount Gilead of 2:01 and 2 comes into this race off a pair of seconds at Ashland and Montpelier. Was 5th, 3rd back, 4 back at Mount Gilead. Was a winner. 32nd final quarter, 2:01 and 2 for the mile that day, and was that is the lifetime best for this one, Bounding Delight. Pretty consistent. A lot of firsts and seconds out of the 11 starts.
Pure Dragon and Nick Clegg from the 4-hole for trainer-owner Betty Clegg. This is a Fear the Dragon out of an Always a Virgin mare, Pure Maid. 16 starts on the year, 1 win. That was at a very early fair back in June at Circleville in 2, 4, and 1. Has had 3 seconds and a third, earnings of a little over $9,000. Last start was at Delaware. Actually raced very well, pacing his mile in 57 and 3, came home in 29 and 1, finished 5th, but was just back by 4 1/4.
The 5 is All Bull and No Beef, and he has yet to see the winner's circle either this year, so that makes 3 of them in this race. 12 starts, no wins, 5 seconds, 4 thirds, and $9,895 earned. Raced at Ashland, finishing 4th, 204 and 1. Prior to that, Canfield, a nice second place finish, 203 and 1, but has not missed a check. And we like those check getters as well, particularly the owners. At least they're paying their way. This one came out of a Buckeye Classic sale a year ago for $8,000, so has surpassed his purchase price with that $9,895 in earnings. That's All Bull and No Beef. Chris Hirschberger aboard.
So we still do have a couple of yearling sales coming up. The Buckeye Classic sale will be held at Springfield, Ohio. A lot of horses going through that sale. There's over 300. And then, of course, we will move to Harrisburg, Lexington, and then Harrisburg. Both of those, I heard, have about 60 Ohio breds in them, which is really a lot for those 2 sales. So it's going to be, there's still time to buy a yearling.
Lexington is September 30th, and I believe Harrisburg is November 4th. Starts.
Inside Pool of Justice, 43rd for Fountain Delight, and the trouble is Pure Dragon. Into the last stretch, they go really first stop. Up top here is All Going No Beat. Up by a length and a quarter over Rocky Baloo in second. Going back to Pool of Justice in third. The Fountain Delight is inside for the 4th. Pure Dragon is 5th past the 3 1/4 as they head into the front for the first time. Quarter time, 29. It is up 3 mid-second, All Bull. And No Beat, up to by a length and a quarter. Rocky Baloo in the pocket, racing second. First up and driving for Pure Dragon. And Clegg got that one moving. Now on the outside, around Pool of Justice as they come down in front of the stands for the first time. And the trailer is a Fountain Delight. All Bull and No Beat. Up there by a length and a quarter. Rocky Baloo, pocket shadow second with Pure Dragon. First up on the outside, third. That's 2 lengths off the lead. Outside, mid, 4th breath second. Then after inside, Pool of Justice is 4th with Fountain Delight. Moving up next on the outside. All Bull and No Beat trying to take the separation here. Cut by a length and 3/4. On the outside, Pure Dragon is advancing with Rocky Baloo at the inside, 3rd Python. Second over, 4th Fountain Delight. At the inside is Pool of Justice. They hit the 3/4 and All Bull and No Beat getting the racer on the front end. Up on the outside, Pure Dragon, 3/4. 1:37, 34 seconds off stride is Pure Dragon. Pure Dragon made a very good stride. On the outside, here's Fountain Delight up and after All Bull and No Beat as they turn for home. All Bull and No Beat put the lead down in the left front final try on the outside. All Bull and No Beat going to win it. Looks like two. On the outside, Fountain Delight second. Rocky with the inside third.
He is now no longer a maiden. Gets his initial victory as a 2-year-old right here at Dover today. Big change putting him on the front end. He left only one other time that I can see and was only on there for a short period of time. This time it was a huge effort there. Went right to the front. All Bull and No Beef.
Unofficially 5-3-1. Fountain Delight second and Lucky Baloo third. That is unofficial.
I did not get all the fractions. I know they opened up with a 29 3/5 first quarter. Was he able to back it down to the half?
I heard a minute and 4/5.
A minute and 4/5.
But I did not hear the 3/4.
I did, but I wasn't sure. I thought it was 131 and something, but I could be wrong. 130 something.
Miling 203.
Oh my. Yeah, that could be.
So this is all bull and no beef's 13th start. So he's got 1 win, 5 seconds, and 4 thirds. So 10 for 13 on the board.
Like I said, sometimes just a change in strategy. He liked it. He was able to command and challenges.
This is the 5, all bull and no beef. Over the CNC Sprinkles, LLC, Chris Hirschberger, the winning trainer and rock the field, leading only by Bull Our Bill. And the presidential ball there, Shea Tony. The first career victory for All Bill and no beef. Home winner in 203 laps. It is official. Race number 7, sponsored in honor and memory of Bob and Helen Clark. Here's the clear order of minutes. Top rider leads 7, Lucky Bullet 3. Blue Augustus 4, Dominic Roy 2, Deer Dragon 5, All Bullet no beef. So 3, 4, 2, 5, 1, quarter time 29, 3, half 1 minute 4, 2 3 quarters was 1:31 and 3, final time 2:03 flat. Racing is up next.
Well, can you believe we have a clean race in the 8th? I don't have any changes for that one. That is the Duncan Pace, the 2nd division of the Home Talent Colt Stakes, 3-year-old Colton Gelding Pace for a purse of $4,087. It's the middle one. We have another one slated as our 11th race. But before we take a look at the 8th race, perhaps we'll take a break and listen to messages from our sponsors.
Do you want your horse to shine in the winner's circle? Feed DAC Oil. It makes a world of difference.
For over 100 years, the values at CoverLink Insurance have been clear. Do the right thing. These values have been at the forefront of what we do, and that will never change. At CoverLink Insurance, you're a person, not a policy. We're here to get you the right coverage: home, auto, business, and farm. CoverLink covers you, your family, and your business. Trusted advice and solutions to protect what matters most. Great service from great people. CoverLink Insurance.
Okay, welcome back to the Tuscarawas County Fair here in Dover. They're giving away a lot of gift certificates. I think you go and you put your losing ticket down in a barrel and they're picking things out. I mean, I have heard $25, $35, $50 gift certificates, so it pays to come to this fair and it pays to lose. You're probably going to get a lot more for that losing ticket than you are at the windows. Of course, last start, the horse paid $21.60 to win, so that was a really good one.
I think that was our biggest price of the day.
Yeah, I think so too. But it's just so nice when a fair does these kind of things. They've got their nice winner's circle there. They got some mums. Oh. Whoops, Steve.
I don't want to lose our cameraman,
wasn't equipment,
Steve Orrick. He's fine. We took a look. He's fine.
He's okay. He just dropped his water bottle. This is the Duncan Pace. I did a short interview with Nick Clegg after Janelle Granny won at Delaware, and he was talking about how he knew that horse was fast right in the beginning. First couple times he jogged him, he said, I just knew he was different. But then we talked about Duncan a little, and he got kind of choked up about Duncan. I think Duncan is a very, very special horse to the Cleggs, and he just continues to do so well. And he, like I said, he got a little choked up and could barely talk about him.
Well, you know, he's still in the family. Betty owns him still, even though he's being trained out east. But, you know, one thing that's wonderful is that he at least can say he's had a horse like that. A lot of these people that we see at the fairs have fair horses all their lives, and it is it's what is that? It's like a dream come true. It doesn't happen very often, but that's what we all aspire to, hope for. And when you go to the yearling sales, that's when all the dreams are there, and you have to wait to see what comes to fruition and whether things pan out in the positive or the negative. But yes, it's always great to have a horse like that, but not many owners get to say that.
Right, right. But you know, I think sometimes winning at your county fair is really a big deal for a lot of people too. I mean, anytime you can win a race, anytime your horse races good. I mean, sometimes you may finish back, but if your horse raced good, if it improved, if it did things that it wasn't, you know, overcame some things that it had been struggling with, that's a really good day.
Oh, like that last race, you know, to get that initial win, what joy, and you're very proud then of the horse. And I understand. I think any race feels like the Hambletonian to me, but if I have the winner, right?
Yeah. So I see just a few horses out on the track.
We better start, I guess.
Okay.
The one horse is Nacho Dragon, trained by Wes Hirschberger, Darren Harvey in the bike today. It's a Fear the Dragon out of Nacho Mama Blue Chip by Rock and Roll Heaven. 15 starts on the year, 4 wins, 1 second, 2/3, $20,241 bankrolled with a best mark taken at Northfield of 156-3. Comes into this race off a pair of wins. And 2 back, it was on September 9th at Northfield in a 15,000 claiming condition race for non-winners of 2 parimutuel races. Then at Ashland on September 16th, the Ohio Fair Stake for 3-year-old colts was a winner. Both wins came at the same margin, a half a length, 156-3 at Northfield and 2 minutes and 4/5 at Ashland. Before that, had a pair of fifths and then was second at Northfield again in a straight non-winners of 2 parimutuel, and at Mansfield picked up a third in an Ohio Fair Stake. So having a very good year. Ohio Select Sale purchase a couple of years ago at $10,000 now has $33,575 in lifetime earnings.
So we will have a post parade. The 2 is Impactful Stretch, David Young II up for Stephen Swatzel and Kent D. Wolf from Syracuse, Ohio. A Do Me That Again out of a 3rd straight mare, split screen. 19 starts on the year, has not hit the winner's circle yet, was second at Caldwell, where he was timed in 2:01, was just 3rd at Scioto Downs in a horse and gelding non-winners of 1, and paces mile in 56-2. Did win last year as a 2-year-old right here at Dover in 2, 2, and 3.
We're going to take a look at the 3 Cruiser with Class. This one owned, trained, and driven by Charlie Neff. Only made 2 appearances as a 2-year-old and earned $1,170, not hitting the board, but has turned things around a lot in his sophomore appearance because the earnings to date now are $41,345 in 20 starts, with 4 wins to his credit, 6 seconds and 3/3. Best mark at Scioto, 155 and 2. Raced at Delaware in the Buckeye Stallion Stake, and he caught a very fast division, 152 and 2, but still wasn't beaten that much, 6th by 4.5 lengths. Pacing in 153 and 1. At Worcester made a break before the start and still finished second, 159 and 3. McConnellsville finished third from the second tier, last quarter in 28 and 3, mile in 2 minutes and 4/5. Best time of just race time was at Scioto Downs in another Buckeye Stallion Stake, where it picked up a check, finishing 5th, pacing in 152 and 2.
SM Hugo and Mark St. Louis will leave from the 4-hole for trainer Mike Metters. Mike co-owns this horse along with Tina Sudermeister, and they also bred this gelding. He's a bit of a legend, and out of a big bad John Mayer, SM Katrina is still a maiden after 16 lifetime starts. Has earnings of $9,717. Last started out at Delaware, finished third, just 2 lengths back, paces mile in 56 flat.
Big Risk Sonny also didn't have much experience as a 2-year-old with just 2 starts and no money earned. He now has 12 starts for trainer Derek Wadaker, owned by E. Diane Baker in McConnellsville, Ohio. Derek Wadaker will drive today. 1 win out of those 12 starts. That was at Circleville in 159 and 4. Back that up with a pair of seconds and a trio of thirds, $8,037 earned. Last start at Delaware, I don't know where he finished.
And from the Clegg Barn, Cinder Lane Cruiser will start from the second tier. 35 starts this year, 9 wins, the fastest of those, 158 and 3 at Upper Sandusky. Let's turn it over to Michael Carter.
Cinder Lane Cruiser came away third with an actual stretch as they move into the back stretch. Then comes SM Hugo, and Big Risk Sonny is the trailer. So we're going to go Cruiser with Class, up by 2 lengths. Nacho Dragon to the inside is second. Cinder Lane Cruiser in third with 3/4 in front of Impactful stretches. They race to the opening quarter with Big Risk Sonny in the trailer. Opening quarter. 49 seconds into the park when they go for the first time. It is Cruiser with Class up here by 1 there next quarter in the pocket second. Nacho Dragon down at the inside as they come by the stand. Big Vegas, Cinder Lane Cruiser. Moving out the first over on the outside as they come down here to the half of SM Hugo. Now we're jumping around the tactical stretch and the trailer Big Risk Sonny. Half time. 59 seconds. Looking at the last 30 to go. Cruiser with Class. Selected by a length and a quarter. SM Hugo and Buck Lewis Jr. starting up on the outside. First over. Nacho Dragon is pinning at the pylon for 4 to go. As they continue up the back stretch. Then at the inside of Cinder Lane Cruiser. Big Risk Sonny on the outside. And Impactful stretch into the trailer. They hit past the 3/4 marker. Red 27 and blood into the final turn. Cruiser with Class up here by a length and a quarter. Nacho Dragon finally has some clearance as they come to the top of the stretch. SM Hugo is packing it in as they come through the stretch of 2 to 1. Cruiser with Class being chased in rear. Cruiser with Class the 4-length center. SM Hugo on the outside. Nacho Dragon to the inside. And Jason Lane Cruiser.
Very nice mile for Cruiser with Class. Kind of extra special. Charles Neff trains, drives, owns, and bred this Yankee Cruiser out of the mare Classy but Sassy.
And in this case, he was able to forge to the front and stay there, despite the fact that we had SM Hugo coming first up. Big Risk Sunny was second over, and stalking him in the 2-hole was the 1, Nacho Dragon.
I didn't notice this before, but down on the apron they have a jog cart and a race bike, so fans can see the difference between them. Kind of a nice, you when they're right next to you, you can really tell the difference between that. So a very nice idea to have that there for the fans.
Yes, education is important. It's hard to, it's just like reading the program. If you go to a racetrack and you don't have someone to help you decipher what all that means and things, you feel a little bit like a fish out of water. So education is very important in teaching people about the game and keeping their interest. There's a lot to learn, and we're happy to help you out, aren't we, Susan?
Yeah, there is a lot.
I think in a way, our sport is a team sport, because you do have your trainer, your driver, and the performer, the horse, and they all have to work together. So I always think of it as kind of a team.
Yeah, starting with the breeders.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't for the breeders getting in these good mares, we talked to Randy Haynes from Cool Wind Farms, and he also has a lot to do with the Ohio breeders, and talking about how the Ohio program has just been upgraded so much. Bigger and better stallions coming in, and better mares.
Well, we just heard from our announcer that we won't see Mark St. Louis Jr. here today, it appears like, or at least behind SM Andrew here in the 9th. We have that driver change on the 2 to Drew Neal in the 9th, and also Luke Ebersol will be handling the 6, Master Confection. This again is the Bud Lammers Memorial coming up. It's an open for the top 7 money earners in 2024. Ohio bred or owned preferred, going for $3,000. Looks like it'll be a good race, and we'll be back to bring you more about it after these words.
History, tradition. For over 100 years, 2- and 3-year-old trotters and pacers have started their careers on the tracks of the Home Talent Colt Stakes. See the future stars of Ohio harness racing at one of the Home Talent's 15 tracks. The stars of tomorrow are racing at a track near you today. The Home Talent Colt Stakes. You can't win them if you aren't in them.
At Ohio State's Galbraith Equine Center, our veterinary champions are here for your champions 24/7, 365 days a year. Our expert team of boarded surgeons, sports medicine and rehabilitation specialists, together with veterinary cardiologists, internal medicine, and ophthalmologists, make our hospital your best resource for all sport horse performance issues. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center's Galbraith Equine Hospital. Call us today at 614-292-6661.
To Dover, where the wind is blowing quite a bit now. It's a very, very nice breeze here. Nice, big, giant covered grandstand. It's kind of a steep grandstand, so most of our fans are down in the first, I would say, 15 to 20 rows. We are way up here.
Yes, I have to give a shout out to my friend Gary Schmidt in from Las Vegas, Nevada, who said he wouldn't walk up these steps for anybody, but he did for me. I missed him at Delaware, and I'm so happy he came by to say hello. So a shout out to Gary Schmidt, one of the biggest fans of harness racing that I know, and a friend. You know, we have a field of 7 here. And I was noticing one of the drivers is a qualifying fair driver, 20 years old, Mario Zito. I don't have his background, but I was wondering if another trainer that I know, if it is a relative of Dave Zito. So if anybody watching on our feed knows if Mario is related to Dave Zito, I'd like to hear about it.
So we can start going down the horses in this race. As Trish said, this is the Bud Lammers Memorial Open. There's a nice story about Bud in the program that, let's see if I can find it. Got a couple people that were on the Tuscarawas County Fair board that passed away that they are honoring today and yesterday.
We have, well, she looks for that. I see that Trent Deo was a select sale, a Lexington select sale purchase for $47,000. He's a Ridgeling. He's now 8 years old, and he has $381,584 in lifetime earnings. So he was well meant, and he has done well in his career. The son of Captain Treacherous has the rail here today. Last race at Delaware in the Signature Series. Yannick Gingras was in the bike, and Susan, you were probably there. Do you know how he did, how he finished? It says line to be announced yet on my proof.
He was 7th in that Signature Series final, but paced his mile in 53-4.
Okay, so that was at Delaware on the 19th. Before that, he raced in the Signature Series at Montpelier and finished 2nd, pacing in 1:56. Oh no, at